Testing. Okay, I did a very silly thing. When I was moving the controller around, I was doing my testing thing. I forgot to plug in the mic. So, yeah, still a bit too excited. Give me one moment though, because I just saw the black pop up, and either that was because... No, I took care of notifications. That had to have been because of the mic, so that shouldn't happen again. Speaking of which, I should go ahead and get this started. Hey there, my name's Ethonra, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Reaper Part 1. So, I want to do an apology for yesterday because I was so ready to get started, I didn't even consider it. But I forgot to turn off the notifications in-game, like for link shells. So if my FC was popping off, I apologize for that, because honestly, I was so interested in what was going on and talking and stuff, I didn't hear anything. And remember, my headset blocks out noise from the outside pretty good, so I can hear a little bit, but not as clear as I could without them. It's not a two-way headset or whatever. But anywho, we're back. We're going to do the Reaper quest, and back by popular demand, we are going to be playing Arazio. Because as fun as it was being a Lalafell Reaper, Arazio here as a Reaper is truly elegant to see. And speaking of elegant, I cannot wait to show you the scythe that I got for her. And the way I got it was really interesting too, because I only have two theories for it. Either I got it when it came from a chest and I didn't roll on it because I wasn't paying attention, and for whatever reason everyone else passed on it, which is weird because out of all the stuff I was grinding, the dungeons, only I think 2 of them didn't have Reaper. So that's possible. Or oh, hold on, another thing I want to show you before we get started. It was these 4 right here where the was when I was grinding. I got, yeah, for real. I got this one I think once, this one once, this one the most, and then this one not at all. Nope, not register. But anywho, I'm not sure when I got it because I didn't get it after the dungeon. I actually tried to roll for it, but I already had one in my inventory, and I don't know how. I guess when I finished the dungeon, it was a random reward given to me. You know, like your armor pieces. So I guess that's how I got it, which I think is very fitting. But you'll see, it's a very nice scythe. The harvest begins. What an appropriate name. Also, it should go without saying, much like my Gunbreaker, I play the Reaper my way. I do try to do my own little combos and stuff, but obviously I don't use rotations because I don't know any. Can't bother to remember them anyway. But I have my own little rotation, quote-unquote rotation, that I thought up. I say that, but the thing with the Reaper versus my Gunbreaker is this one requires a bit more concentration. Because I don't, for now at least, I don't need macros to play Reaper. I have the room pretty well managed. I could make a macro actually. I think I might make one just for fun. That's something else I always forget to do is that. But whenever I do it twice. Because one, the second hit will be even stronger, and two, is to increase the duration. And yeah, there's her scythe. I was kind of hoping to show it off in a different manner, but there you go. Quite beautiful, don't you think? So yeah, I would like to, I don't want to keep the box down there open in case my FC says something embarrassing, but I'm going to anyway just for the missions at least when I get into fights. Oh, I nearly forgot something. Here we go. Her name was Paimon. Oh, don't worry, I took care of that. But yeah, like I said, I usually forget to mark things with Death's Design. I like that name, by the way. Speaking of scythes, I nearly forgot to comment on that too. If you... The very first scythe... Yeah, actually, let me just hold my tongue, because... No, I guess we can do it right now. So the very first scythe you get in this game, all I'm going to say is Bloodborne. If you use that scythe and that theme doesn't start playing in your head, you don't deserve to use it. Objective fact. So, oh, and speaking of more scythes, as I've mentioned back in my Kingdom Hearts Union Cross days, Marluxia is my favorite Organization 13 member. So the entire time I was grinding up Reaper, and will more so, because I'm only level 80 right now. I've just been blasting Lord of the Castle. Really helps you get you pumped when you're leveling up Reaper, in my opinion at least. See what I meant? Like I said, I literally always, well, maybe not literally, sometimes I do when I'm actually thinking. But I'm so used to just running up and attacking things as a gunbreaker. I forgot to put that on. Something else I wanted to comment on was, what was it? No, see? I forgot again. I'm trying to remember what it was. I know this is a very Marluxia looking move, so I really like that one. Oh, don't worry, I know. I also like this move right here. Spinning Scythe, that's pretty sick. Oh, I remember now. It was about the Reaper itself. Yeah, let me go and comment on that first, though. Uh, I like how with Reaper. I might as well. I can do this and talk. I hope. I like how Reaper. Oh, see, I'm getting ahead of myself again. I wanted to comment on what she said first because I wanted to comment on this whole area. Really, is that I like how they're actually letting you train here. Because if I'm not mistaken, I can't. On it, it's been so long, so it's definitely possible I'm wrong here. But let me take care of this first so I don't forget. I don't remember any other quest that kind of holds your hand like this, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I can't think of one. Or at least not to this extent. So it's like, oh yeah, you did the combo right. Here's your green check mark. Oh, okay, so now back to Reaper. I love how easy it is to get gauge off this thing. Like, I rarely ever feel starved for gauge moves. Like, you know, with my Gunbreaker, I often hold back for like when I'm fighting something really big or whatever. I feel like I really don't have to do that for Reaper. Unless, of course, you know, I'm fighting just one big enemy. But as long as there's multiple enemies around, it doesn't feel that way, and I like it. I also like, let me mention this before I forget too, I like how Shadow of Death and Whirl of Death do not interrupt your combo. That's really handy to have. Because it's you don't have to worry about dropping your combo in case you're like me and forget to apply Death Design. Yeah, she's right, because I actually made it simple. I don't know if the game did it automatically, so I can't say for sure. But I made sure Gallows is on the right for rear, right, rear. And Gibbet is on the left because not right, so don't be on the right side if I use it. And then, of course, Guillotine I put in front because Comb. So I kind of set them up in certain ways to make them easier for me. Of course, keep in mind, there's still possible I'll press the wrong button. Also, I liked, what's that move, Gibbet? Yeah, I like the way Gibbet looks. That's my favorite of the three. I apologize if you can't see. The big avatar gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, you see how graceful this looks? Kind of like an assassin, don't you think? Something I like about that move is that my scythe here has an actual, like, scorpion tail on it, so it feels nice to use that. You know how I am with my cosmetics. Ooh, dramatic rain. So yeah, interesting piece of Garlean history there. I wonder if he was being actually literal about the scythes that they used for farming or the same that the reapers used, because if that's true, those were some mighty big crops. So I'm kind of leading to believe that was more of a exaggeration. That was meant to be a joke there, but it obviously didn't sound like one, so forget it. Something else I learned is you can actually move the cruiser off of that if you're looking for something objective. That's not the right word. If you're looking for something specific, but at the same time you kind of don't need to since you can just scroll through it anyway. But I do like the fact that it gives you the options, because like I said, I'm always a fan of more options than less. And before I forget this, actually let me do this first and then I'll bring that up. First off, I'm hoping the stream is looking okay, because on my phone it is incredibly blurry. But, so I'm a little disappointed that the females don't seem to hold the scythe, not like this, but yeah, here, any differently than the males do. If they do, it might just be that their feet are closer together. I mean, the only one I really have to go off of is Lalafell Zio. But look. It's literally the exact same. So that's kind of disappointing because I was hoping for more variety, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Oh, and speaking of Reapers, for the time being, why don't we just pretend, since I kind of miss his cute little face, why don't we just pretend that, right here, Ara Zio's avatar is Lalafell Zio. How about that? Unless there's some kind of Dark Knight-esque twist involved. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Ah, that reminds me. I don't really have any good food on me. Most of them are just for memes, like this, because I love beef jerky in real life. But they all give, as far as I know, unless some new Endwalker food has come out, they all give the +3 EXP boost, so that's mostly why I have the food on, just for that. Stop faffing about. I'm gonna have to use that word. That's a good line. Oh, I should also mention this before I forget. Um, I got this really nice scythe. It's probably gonna be my main scythe, because I'm not too big of a fan of glowy weapons unless I can get a glam to work for it. And this one really doesn't. Uh, Again, unless I can get a really good looking scythe. I just really like the angel wings on this thing. And it being blood red, that's just so pretty. Looks so good on her. That's actually not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was, well, partially that. Yeah, I got the scythe last night, and I was going to stream last night, but I couldn't because I stayed like permanently in 500k queue. So I really couldn't get in even though I really wanted to. Hopefully they're fixing that. I saw they posted on Twitter something. I didn't get to read it though because when I clicked on the link didn't take me there. The page was blank. And then when I clicked on a totally different Twitter, it worked just fine. So, but hopefully they're getting that fixed so that, you know, later tonight I can play again because it feels like you're almost being punished. Whoops, I should read that. It feels like you're being punished for not playing for as long as you could, which is ridiculous. And no, I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. Like, if you stop playing and then come back after a break or dropping your kids off from school or whatever, you get punished by not being able to get back online. I had to sign in at like 6:30 or whatever in the morning just to get a queue of 51, which is, you know, normal. Anywho, let me see what this is. I still didn't say what I wanted to say though. It's close though. Alright, where are you? So yeah, I said all that to say when I was trying to log in, because I'm not used to the Endwalker screen, you know, whenever the moon is crossing over, well I guess, yeah, the moon is like crossing over the sun and it makes that shing sound. That sound is so very similar to the login noise that brings you to the character screen that it fooled me countless times that it had actually logged in, to the point where I just waited until the little noise went off, then trying to log in because it kept getting my hopes up because I kept falling for that noise. I'm glad she mentioned that because I kind of forgot. I didn't. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not so much that I forgot voice int could possess people. It's just more like I'm so used to just fighting them in their monster forms. When they mentioned the pale white skin, immediately it made me think of Sin Eaters, but obviously they're not here, but it definitely made me think of them. But yeah, again, I'm about to say forgot, but I didn't forget. It's more like I just don't think about it. Like, take the Ahriman, I think that's what they're called, the big flying eyes. Those apparently manifest through animal eyes. I hate to see what exactly that entails, but that's apparently how they manifest. Or the succubi, they manifest through the corpses of dead women. Oh, yeah, someone did mention my FC that their Aether Compass was missing. I don't know why, because it's probably been so long, I don't remember if we ever needed to really replace it for the other expansions. Maybe we did, but I do think that's a little strange. Hmm. I was expecting to be attacked by something like, I don't know, bees or something. Why would bees be attracted by the scent of blood? I don't know, demonic bees. I don't think I did it, where I checked the journal and doing during the quests and streams and stuff. But I'll say it now for those who are new to Final Fantasy and haven't done it yet. One, you should always do it because chances are you won't ever really get to see it again. Two, they can be quite humorous, and three, they're just generally well written. One of my personal favorites are, I've brought them up before, the Dark Knights journal entries. I'm not going to say why. I've said it in the past, but I won't say it here. But for those who have taken the time to read this and why I said the Dark Knights has some of the best, you know why. Trust me, if you're new to Dark Knight, make sure you read these. Of course, it spawned behind me. And of course, I forgot to do that. For him, I don't think I need to apply it twice. I'm doing pretty good damage. I will do that, though, just in case. So I don't have to build up to 100. Oh, that reminds me, that's something else. That's something else I like about Reaper, is they don't need to finish their combo just to get a single gauge. Every single hit they do gives a bit to the gauge. And Death Design, I nearly forgot to comment on this. I like it a lot, not just because of the boost of damage that it gives, but I like that when you kill something while it's marked with that debuff, it'll give you gauge as well. And the reason why I like that is because it reminds me of one of Dark Knight's lost abilities, one of my personal favorites, called Soul Survivor, which becomes another victim. They obviously don't do the same thing, but the mechanic is basically the same. Hmm. Sorry, I can't help when my phone goes off because I have it. Oh, nope, that's not true. I actually didn't do it this time. There we go. Hopefully that won't happen again. But sometimes, even when I set my phone to silent and do not disturb, it'll still make that ringing noise. So I thought I did, but I didn't. So whatever that message was, hopefully, if my phone does inevitably go off, it won't be 20 times in 1 minute. It makes me think, though, she said that, obviously, I'm guessing she's laid eyes on him, you know, pasty white skin and stuff, but that sounds more like his demonic form. Like, obviously, if someone looks like that, you're not just going to sit there and let him talk to you. She said as much herself, that he can be awfully convincing when he needs to be. So clearly that's more of his demonic form. So it makes me wonder, has she, or any of them, laid eyes on his human form, or human vessel, I should say. Also, I think it's neat that the Reaper's little hideout is close to the Weaver's Guild. If the Botanist Guild was here instead of Gridania, that'd be even more appropriate. But obviously it makes more sense for the Botanist Guild to be in Gridania, I'm just saying. I'm not going to say that because my own avatar is a void scent. I'm not going to diss Zeo like that. Are you now? At first I thought she was a rogue, but she only has one dagger. So unless she fights like a Realm Reborn Thancred, don't really see what she meant by muscle. And even then, rogues aren't really known for their muscle, but never mind that. I know she was just speaking more metaphorically. As delicate as weaving, right outside the Weaver's Guild. Maybe I called it sooner than I thought. Even goes on to make a seams pun. Wow, that did not take long. He was getting too close. I kind of figured there was something up with him, but I didn't expect him to get murdered. I don't know, I just got a weird vibe from him back at the shroud. It's funny because I actually wanted to talk to her, but he's like, no, I gotta stand outside to make sure she doesn't come out here. Not haha funny, but you know what I mean. Thaumaturge Guild, of course. I actually was not familiar with that name, but considering the thaumaturges were, you know, they used to like embalm corpses and stuff, I should have been able to guess that's where she was. I could have done a little detective work, but I just did it the lazy way. Can do. Okay, I was making sure I was saying that right. It kind of confused me when it brought me down there. But yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, I definitely called it. Reaper is going to replace Ninja for me. Something I nearly forgot to talk about this. I'm glad I remembered. At first, I was kind of disappointed in Reaper because it just felt like another pure DPS class. But that turns out not to be the case because it has two supporting moves. They're obviously at maximum potential once you get max level, I guess. But one of them is Arcane Circle, and the other one is Arcane Crest. I'm kind of debating on putting those closer together, actually, but for right now, I'll leave them where they are. But yeah, those are the only two supporting moves they have, but I'm totally cool with that because they have supporting moves. So, at least back in the day, Samurai could at least increase slash, or decrease slash resistance. So at least Samurai had that. Now it's like Black Mage. It doesn't really have anything unless, you know, level 90 stuff is out and 86 and all that good stuff. But I'm referring to obviously Shadowbringers and below, or Shadowbringers specifically, because again, at least Samurai had the slash resist down. They didn't have anything for support. Reaper does, so that does make me feel better. Oh, no wonder she wanted me to be quiet. What's funny, real quick though, is you know I usually do talk to NPCs and stuff. I have talked to people out here, but I'm fairly certain she wasn't chilling out here. I'm pretty sure she's here just for the Reaper story. I'm gonna have to catch up on the journal. I think I might have missed a few entries. Yeah, I figured she'd be here, you know, because again, for the story. Oh, that's really sad. I get it, though. I do get that. Alright. Okay, no, we are caught up. Okay. I wonder what she meant by that, though. Wouldn't headquarters be the safest place? I guess what she meant by prying eyes is she meant literally just me and her, as opposed to the two subordinates as well. Yeah, that too. I recognize this song. Do you? That's an interesting point because that's kind of what I figured. Because what are the odds that a random void scent will just be out in the shroud? That too. Yeah. Oh, the body of a Garlean. Ah. That's a very mean way to say old. They actually put it on the other edge of the bridge. That's a very nice touch. Yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable. His appearance does remind me of something. I actually did get to use the Reaper limit break in a trial fight. My first trial as Reaper against Ifrit, or Ifrit. I'm gonna call him Ifrit though, because I'm more comfortable calling him that. Because I believe in Sonic and the Secret Rings, it was even spelled Ifrit, so Ifrit. I just thought that was really interesting though. Of all the trials I could have gotten, I got Ifrit. Which was great because that one's very easy to get a limit break level 3 off on. But in addition to that, they made, I don't know if they made our attacks weaker, because obviously with the expansion almost everyone is playing Reaper. A bunch of Reapers applying death design on the same enemy eats them alive like nobody's business. But aside from that, I want to say that the enemies might be a bit chunkier, and we have been made a bit more squishy, because I've been doing some raids as well, and we're getting limit break level 3s much more often than we did before, which is a good thing to me. That's a good thing. But at the same time, the caveat also seems to be people don't know the mechanics, because I got the monastery, and a lot of people were getting wrecked by the robot. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh, I think I see where this is going. This one does seem like something she would actually say, but this one seems like a funnier reply, because it's true. Hey, that was mean. Yep, just one more. I will be right back though, because I don't know if the audio is being picked up. I'm hoping it wasn't, but I'll be right back. I'm back. I find that's why I was a little surprised that he actually was already in his monstrous form. I'm assuming if he wanted to, he could look more human. It's just the fact that they keep pointing out the man with the pale as death skin as opposed to the man in the black robes that's glowing red. You know, something a bit more distinctive. Excuse me. I was about to just walk out there, but I was like, oh yeah, I can just do it from here. Wonder what he's looking at. Also, I just want to comment on this, least I forget. I've seen it several times, but obviously not really used to playing as Ara Zio as I am with the Lalafell one. But I think it's so adorable that her tail actually wags whenever she talks sometimes. He also only has a single dagger. That just looks so weird to me, being an ex-ninja main. See what I mean? That wasn't as much as the other one, but still. I think that's kind of strange and a little foolish. If you're so afraid of this thing, why would you guys not just stick together until we got here? That's what I would do. Wait a minute. I thought... Well, never mind. Ah, so you're a fan of the color red, too. Oh, this is interesting. A powerful nod. There's a bunny boy, apparently. Yeah, see, he actually mentioned the most distinctive detail, something you would see long before his skin. Something I want to point out, because I'm pretty much going to call it now, but I've noticed that the bunny boys seem to be kind of, there's a word I want to use here, but more so than the Makotes, or Makotos. You know who I'm talking about. Pretty boys, I think, is a good enough term to describe them. You'll have to forgive the display I was doing when I was fighting that thing. I was distracted. Oh, they must be opening a chest. Yeah, they're opening a chest. And she's level 83, so she's definitely fine. I couldn't have helped anyway. Well, I could have, actually. Just not killing. But yeah, I was distracted, not because of how he looked, but just the fact that he was there was distracting me. Because that move I use, Gluttony, I don't like the name. I would have... Well, we'll get into that later, because I thought of a more appropriate name than Gluttony, but I guess I get why it's called Gluttony, because it lets you use 2 of your buffs instead of 1, so fair enough. This is unrelated, but I thought this would be a good time to compare it. Zio's hair here isn't actually white, because you can tell looking at hers. I know most people won't notice that, but I wanted to point that out, part of my artistic design. Most people won't notice, but I just thought I'd appreciate it here since we actually have a comparison. Oh, the blood-seeking hornets. Bees, rather. Politicking. That sounds like Dark Knight work, if I'm being honest. Uh-huh. Kind of what I was thinking earlier. Yeah, the sun is starting to go down now. It's kind of funny. Okay, so that's two theories of mine that have been proven right. Oh, look, there he is again. Not that that's anything worth bragging about. The first one, to me, was pretty obvious. Like, there's something a bit, I don't want to say more sinister, but the avatar is more than it appears to be, because it is still a void scent, and I just got done saying how void scents appeared to the world. So, okay. And then the second one was, if the void scent wasn't just a random void scent, then that made me think of, because again, it's already been kind of spoiled for anyone who's seen the Reaper showcase and stuff. You know, your level 80 ability, your Enshroud. So that's kind of where I got the idea from for what happened to Rulus. Also kind of what I meant by the Dark Knight twist, but regardless of that. And just saying that kind of upsets me, because when it comes to spoilers, you can't even really say it's already too late. That's why I'm saying it now anyway. But you can't even really say twist, because when you do that, instinctively, you're going to start looking for it. So if I say, go play the Dark Knight quest, it's one of the best quests in the entire game, and then I'm saying Dark Knight twist, especially how it starts, you're going to be expecting the twist the entire time. It's essentially a spoiler. So apologize for that. Really am, because I hate spoilers. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Anytime you're trying to avoid spoilers with someone, don't ever say twist. Don't let them know there's a twist. About to say, oh, getting a cutscene. She actually reminded me of something I forgot to do. I should have checked in on the Bard and his wife and see if the widow now is still outside the wall. I should have thought to do that, but I wasn't thinking. Oh, you're not wrong about that. Yep. I really wish they'd stop comparing my pretty Ara to a pig. I was just making sure I was all cut up on the bottom here. That's obvious. Don't want to encourage her more, so I'm going to say this. Yeah, there we go. Hey, if you're there to heal me, that's all the help I really need. And there we go. Can't wait. I was going to say this earlier, but I kind of like this bard more than the minstrel. I don't know why they give me these two options. Obviously, I want them to come with me, so I guess I'll save this one, because this will imply they're at least coming with me. Like, hey, if you do this, chances are you're going to die, as opposed to, I'm a Reaper, you're not, I'm going alone. Feels like she would have said that anyway. They could just tell me to screw off if I say that. But the second one, that's true. But it's still their lives to throw away. What, the backup scythe? Oh, that's neat. I just caught that. That's the Imperial salute. That was actually really cool. I actually wouldn't mind them coming with me, but from a story standpoint, I could see why I wouldn't. Gameplay-wise, I was like, well, if they come with me, one can heal, one can tank, whatever. But from a story perspective, yeah, I wouldn't want them to come with me because that's just literally more victims for Orcus. More playthings. There's no telling what he would do. And see, this is why I wanted you to read it. You sense a presence shadowing your every step. That can only be one of two things, and I'm willing to bet I know which one it is. I actually forgot the Dust Vigil was that far. I knew it was something related to Isgard, but I was thinking of the Steel Vigil. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything. I'm actually doing pretty good this stream. Everything I wanted to talk about, I have, as far as I can remember at least. I guess while we're flying there, something I'm hoping they're taking care of is the congestion issue, like I was bringing up before. Because, like I said, it feels like you're being punished if you stop playing, but you gotta stop eventually. You can't just go on forever. Unless you're one of those dastards that'd be like in Ildeshire, who are AFK literally for days, but somehow don't get kicked. Yeah, I could be offline for like 20 minutes and I get kicked out, so. But speaking of being kicked out, I guess I should count my blessings for that too, because I've heard at least one instance where, maybe two actually, where some friends of mine were playing the game and they just randomly got kicked out. Thankfully that hasn't happened to me yet, which is also partially why I haven't dived headfirst into the story, because I don't want that kind of interruptions. You know, you guys know how I get with things outside of my control screw me over, so I'd rather not deal with that again. So I'm trying to be patient, letting the worlds and queues settle down. I'm hoping this will be a wake-up call for them that's like, hey, if early access was this bad, how bad would the full release be? If it hasn't happened already. I kind of lost track of the days, but you get what I'm saying. Do something about it. Right. I think my food buff ran off, but I don't think I'd really need it. Actually, no, because I would have liked the EXP. Plus, I could just eat another one. If I could draw, I would definitely make fan art of Zio here dual-wielding that scythe and her own, but alas. Oh, that does remind me of one other thing I actually do want to talk about that involves scythes and Marluxia. I'm going to try to remember to save it for after all of this, but I'll bring it up later. What is this music? I don't want to bring up the chat, so I'm actually going to probably play a bit more passively so I can pay attention, because I don't want to bring up the chat window and kind of ruin the vibe we got going on. That was a very Star Wars-esque choir there. Pre-sequel trilogy choir, I should say. Pre-Star Wars, actually. Like I said, it almost doesn't even matter. Actually, this might actually help. If I'm going to do one, I might as well do one that's actually good. I probably should pay attention to this because something tells me he might try to make his moves invisible. Because they were awfully specific when I could see the colors. Still calling me a pig. That's another thing. Whenever I use that move, I can't use my normal moves, because if I do, I'll lose the charge. Throw that out. Ah, see, and I just used it, so now... I'm gonna pull him out of that pool, rather. I guess I didn't need to. It didn't last as long as I thought it would. Don't even think about it. Is it? Come on, you know which one I have to say. I did feel that fight was too easy, so either it was too easy because he's meant to be, because only level 80, or this was going to happen. Okay, I'm used to that AoE, so as long as I'm paying attention, I should be fine. Speaking of which, now we got to do this. I'm gonna hold on to my hell moves just in case he does like a really big AoE that's very fast. Yep, didn't even press that one. That's fine. Still got what I needed. Oh, stay on the wrong side though. Makes me wonder. I'm hoping people do their positionals better this expansion, because in the last one, the Dragoons seem to all but ignore their positionals, which is not a good thing. The music is, I'm gonna admit, is pretty good. It doesn't quite hit me like Shadowbringers does, but the music is good. I kind of wish if they did these little missions, they'd allow you to get limited break level 3, just so you get to see it. I think that'd be pretty neat. Finish him. Aw, I wanted to finish him off with a gluttony. It took a little while to get out though. Too bad his peanut gallery couldn't make it in time. I think this is right. I'm curious what's going to happen, but this feels right. As much as I would have loved to have seen Zio do that, like I said, this just feels right. I had to let her do it. Who knows? Maybe in the journal I'll rewatch the cutscene just to see if it changes anything. Oh, let me rephrase that. If I can, because obviously this is the first Endwalker story. It's a class job story I've done. So hopefully they change that, because the old ones, depending on which one I mean by old, you can only watch them literally one time. Like the Samurai Quest, a lot of those cutscenes are missing because you could literally only watch them one time. Yeah. Okay. So the fact that it says the right of vengeance falls to one woman, obviously I could have also just came here as Lalafell Zio, so that tells me even if I picked the other option, she would have stepped forward anyway. I'll check just to be sure, but I'm fairly certain that's what would have happened. Plus, I need to check the journal just to see if we actually get all the cutscenes or not. Oh, I can see Lalafell Zio now. That was like his little thing. Okay, I'm gonna go practice that a little bit. Oh. See, that's an interesting point. I didn't really stop and think about that. Garleans typically can't use magic, but thanks to this soul crystal, they can. For hearth and home. Yeah, that's true. I'm expecting great things from Herman. Seeming she's getting a lot more attention now. Alright, that's nice. I'm a little surprised they didn't already give me a... Well, no, that's not true, because apparently, I guess from level 80 to 90, I'll just get the skills naturally, just from leveling up. But I'm going to go check the journal right quick. Then I'm going to go find a practice dummy to test on to see what Enshroud looks like. Because I only watched the Reaper gameplay one time, and honestly, I thought, if I'm not mistaken, because now I think about it, they do look similar, but yeah, I'm definitely wrong. I must have missed it, because I was going to say the Reaper's clothing looks exactly like that. That's not how the Enshroud looks, not really. So I guess I haven't actually seen it. Well, no, that's half true. I did when I used the limit break, because it actually... Let me just stop, because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but it's a cool limit break. It's definitely a cool one. Let's see. Oh, and if you're wondering why I call this Reaper Part 1, it's because I honestly thought there'd be like Reaper Part 2 and maybe even Part 3, because I thought I'd get more quests after this. But I'm fairly certain this game is either going to go to 100 or 99. And I hope it does. Oh, that's something I wanted to talk about. I nearly forgot. Like I said before, I don't want too many more new skills because my hotbar is already getting crowded enough as it is. What I want is more traits. And what I thought would be a really cool trait... Oh, didn't need to talk to you. What I thought would be a really cool trait would be... you know how I said before that... Let me try to remember how it was. I thought of it yesterday, and I would have told you yesterday, but I couldn't get on, so now I have to try to remember what it was. It's something to do with Gibbet Gallows. I think it was... I would like a trait that makes it so that... Oh, I think it was something like if you get Enhanced Gibbet or Enhanced Gallows, you can use it from any side regardless, and it would still count as being a super effective hit. Not a critical. I mean super effective in the sense that you did the positional correctly. So, say for example, if I did Enhanced Gibbet from the front, it would count it as if I did it from the flank. That would be a cool trait. That's what I want. I don't want 75 skills, so I have to go through 8 different hotbars. I already got 2, and I already get those mixed up enough as it is. Let me fix this, too. Now that I can actually see it. Bring you down a little bit. Whoop, that's too far. That wasn't me, by the way. The analog stick just, like, slipped there for some reason. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay. That's wrong. Okay, they look like they might be here. Obviously, I'm going to have to sit down and watch them all to be for certain. But it looks like they should be here. Okay. Not that one. Never mind then, I might be wrong because I thought that was going to be the one. Actually, yeah, that does make sense. Okay. See, I thought that one would be this one, and then the last one was the, hey, you made it back alive cutscene, but it does make more sense, numerically speaking, why it would be this way. But at the same time, it does still lead credence to what I said earlier. I'll never see that cutscene again, because it's not in here, so that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, see? That's what I thought. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but it's definitely better than Samurai's. Let me see. Yeah, all these at least have more than one. Well, almost all, I guess. But yeah, Samurai's, for those who played Samurai, and I did stream a little bit of it. Yeah, like, if I do this one, just to show you, it's going to start off immediately. Slight spoilers here, so if you don't want to spoil, just turn away for like 10 seconds, because I'm going to back out as soon as it starts. But it's going to start off with the final boss of the Samurai quest up to level 70. Just watch. Oh, I got to be my Samurai to actually watch it. Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember having to do that before. My memory might just be wrong. Let me see. How's my Samurai? And yes, I'm keeping the Lalafell stuff on. Okay. But yeah, it's going to start off on the last boss of the Samurai, so turn away right now. I'm just using this as a point. See? How did we get here? Who is he? Why are we fighting? What are his objectives? What has he done? You'll never know, because you only got to see those cutscenes one time. So, okay. Back to Reaper. Now, let me head to my FC to see if the dummy is free, and if there's not one there, then I'll go to Limsa Lominsa. Hopefully everyone's not practicing on the training dummies right now. And don't worry, I didn't forget my Marluxia topic. I'm just saving it for just a little bit longer. Was that in the game, or did I just hear something? It sounded like metal banging. Like someone's working on armory or blacksmith. But I'm not saying anyone, so never mind, I guess. I'm not going to worry about positionals here. Actually, maybe I should. I say, yeah, maybe that'll help the Reaper thing a bit. Or say, for example, after you use Gluttony, it'll basically give you the enhanced versions already. That'd be neat. Now this is just to see what it looks like. I'm not going to worry about fighting anything. So let's see. Oh, that's awesome. So that's why he looks the way he does. Oh, right. So I get to do these now. I'm literally just mashing buttons, by the way. Oh, wow, that was pretty sick. Let me see how that looks in G pose. Oh yeah, it puts the cloak back on too. Nice. I kind of figured it would have to. That's really cool. So okay, let me comment on this then, and then I'll end the stream. So the thing about Marluxia, and I've had this idea for a long time, before Reaper was even a thing. I know, but I'm being serious here. I just can't prove it, but I promise you it's true. And if I could draw, I would show you. But because Marluxia is my favorite, and because some people probably don't know this, the original Chain of Memories was on the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance SP is what I played it on. Marluxia's The Lord of the Castle was not in that game. That form did not exist. He got it in Chain of Memories. So my thinking was, what if he had a form like Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts 2, where he fuses with his Reaper avatar? I have the idea in my head exactly how I want it to look. And just so you know, no, it wouldn't look exactly like the Reaper one did. But there would be the cloak, his scythe would be bigger, he would have like the ribbons on him, and the angel wings, just like his form did. And he would be wearing the hood, but it'd be the skull from his Reaper avatar's form. I've always had that idea, so I love it even more than, in addition to one of Marluxia's literal moves being this, is the fact we can fuse with the avatar. So I guess it's kind of fulfilling my wish in a way. But thank you all for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad the stream didn't crap out. Hopefully, you know, the quality is good as well. But thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you around.